Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TZS Podcast. I am Kraken Mayor, joined with.
Hello, everyone. I am Vapor, and I am not in a lovely, huge, amazing space on vacation for Thanksgiving.
And hello, I am Pepe. I am in my comfortable room. I'm so sorry, Vapor, but yeah, no, I'm here, Pepe, in Arizona, representing.
And I am DRF. I guess I am also in my room here, my office / everything room. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first episode of the TZS Podcast, something we've been attempting to do now for... since
a year?
Yeah, I mean, seriously though, I mean, just in terms of seriously attempting to do it since spring, you know, I think is when we started to get more serious with it.
Yeah.
And so we last week said, hey, we're doing this. We're just executing with whatever we have. It doesn't matter how sloppy it is with it, you know, we're not going to have, we're not going to start going into like crazy talk or something like that. But, you know, we got pictures. We got a stinger. You ready? Bam! Whoa!
The production design on. I didn't even know about this.
About the best we got.
Design is my passion.
We got chat. It's crazy. Oh man, we got so much. It's it's good enough. We're working, guys. We're working.
Props to Kraken. I mean,
honestly,
what the heck?
Kraken cooked this up with with not a whole lot of notice.
yeah, no kidding.
The worst, I will say,
I take no credit.
I did most of it in spring when we were serious, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna do it on like what? I think we officially pulled the trigger on Saturday is when we officially pulled the trigger. And then I was helping a family friend with a dune buggy every single day except for today. So it was basically the same position it was before. It was like just nothing left. There was just like no time left for me at all to just kind of put any of this together and just kind of rolling as it is. And you know what? I'm happy with it. For a first time run, we can always make it better later. I already have some ideas with some more time.
Oh, for sure. And I tell this to our CCA staff all the time, like especially if they have a project they want to get going, it's like just start it, because that's the hardest part of anything is starting, and then after that you can figure it out and make improvements, but you need something out there to improve upon, even if the first one sucks.
I feel that. I feel that in so many degrees, David, both in Splatoon and in life. That really good, just overall advice for everyone on any project.
Yeah. Hey, and we're here now.
Yeah, it's working. It looks like everything's working. If something's broken, let me know. I can see the chat. Just yell at me. I guess I'm also going to mention while we're here, our other TZS folk, you know, they couldn't be with us. We had Moo is going to get home soon, but originally he wasn't planned to, and I don't have the graphics for 5, so just like, well, that just works out.
He's been voted out.
Well, he might pop in. I have it away. We can get him to pop in for a minute later, so maybe we might have a Moo. Pork was kind of iffy on coming, but so this time he's gonna sit out. And then Brian is in Japan, so he's not even an option this time. Realistically, he's probably sleeping right now.
Probably. I didn't even know he was going to Japan at all until he sent the picture of him in Japan.
Like I think he mentioned it briefly at one point, but like I don't know, like when he sent the picture of like, yo guys, I'm here, and I'm like, great.
Yep.
Happy for you.
Give context to our viewers. Like Brian, like he's amazing. He's awesome. Like he's very low key when it comes to our conversations, and like he doesn't keep up as often like with us in the group chat. So when we saw that one picture of him landing in Japan, like me and the others, like we were just so shocked that he apparently is in Japan, and I forgot about it. Kraken, I know you kind of remembered it. So I feel bad on that end, Brian, if you see this, like, which I maybe not. To be real,
Brian's not saying this.
Yeah, he's not saying.
No, he probably doesn't even know what's happening. He doesn't pay attention to our
He
group chat.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He has the group chat muted.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, understandably so, but
I
don't even know, man.
Next time you're at
It's a
his
miracle
house,
when you get him.
just like go in and start adjusting a bunch of stuff on his computer. Add him to the SendouQ team because he's not on that either. By the way, I'm gonna point that out.
God.
Oh,
Add
yeah.
the SendouQ team, unmute him. Because knowing him, he'll just I'll get to it later, and then he'll just never will it. It might help us out. He might actually see it.
Gosh.
I love that guy.
He carries us when he's around. But it takes like the stars aligning on the third Tuesday of even number months to get a hold of him sometimes. But when there's a LAN, he will actually go out of his way.
You mean the third Monday? That's what you mean. The third Monday.
True.
Yeah. It's Monday. Yeah, it's always Monday.
If you want to be legit, yeah, it's actually more like the third Monday of every month.
I think at this point though, because we kind of mentioned SendouQ a little bit there, in conversation and passing. I think that's a good place to kind of start. Just kind of hop in here, get some of our couple topics out of the way, because we also just have question marks on the list as well. Because I have a feeling we're just going to start BSing like we are now already. At the end, because we got just a lot of fun stuff, I'm sure, in our brains, because we've been thinking about this project for so long. We have a bunch of topics in a chat somewhere that we thought about and things like that. So let's hop into them. Hop into the ones we have planned today, I should say. And then hop into those, catch those on the end. So SendouQ, all of us here were a part of that, at least in some fashion. We had the four of us that officially were on the team that qualified for SendouQ were Vapor here to my left, Pepe down in the corner, and then we had Pork. And then Vapor couldn't make the finals because obviously he's moving to where he is now temporarily for the holiday. David came in and clutch and was able to sub in for us. So all of us here got to play at least some SendouQ this season, and it was the first time that TZS made the SendouQ final. We'll get into that.
However.
But there's I think the first thing we should probably talk about is just kind of the season whole in SendouQ, even prior to this season, just thoughts on it, and at least that's where I think is a good starting place for us.
Well, I would like to, I guess, on that note, let's talk very briefly about last season, because I know you guys grinded and made a push. I don't remember who the 4 was specifically. I think, was it U3 plus Mew?
Brian.
We had Brian instead of
Pork.
Instead of Pork, yeah.
Yeah, it was us 3 plus Brian.
Gotcha. And you guys made a push at the very end, but I think you lost a set, or I don't remember what happened, because I remember we were really close to making it last season.
Well, we were ready to be qualified, but it was so close, and the timing with the other team that we were right next to, that they were playing around the same time as well, so we didn't know how many points, if they stopped at all, especially because the leaderboard didn't update yet. And with that, we were like, okay, if they don't play, we make it in, but let's play one more to try to confirm that slot. And we ended up losing that win out game, which ended up knocking us outside of top 12.
Yeah, we were originally in that top 12, and to also set it up for everybody, we got up early, stupidly early, because Brian had to leave again for Japan, I believe it was.
It was.
He had to leave in the afternoon, so we're like, hey, we're gonna hop on in this morning, get up at I think it was 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 Eastern, and hop on and grind this. And we were in that position. If we hadn't played that last set, we actually would have been in. I think we had 506 or something in the lowest position was 500 even, or 1500 even, not 500. So I think we ended like 1450 and we dropped, I think, like 17th or something. I'd have to verify that. But yeah, it was fun though. I did enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that was last season. So obviously then you guys this season, committed to the grind, got maybe just slightly ahead of the curve and didn't have to rush it at the last second. And then, like we said, it was U3 plus Pork. So how, I guess, do you know how many sets you guys played? How did that grind go? Because again, like I am so busy that sometimes I'm just like, you guys are playing SendouQ, great. I'll catch you later.
I mean, on that, David, I'll be completely honest. Like, I had no idea that we were even close to being top 12. Like, for me, I was just playing.
I didn't either.
To play like with the team, right? So like when Kraken mentioned like, oh hey, like we will be getting like on par with like those top 12 teams, and for me, I was like dang, really? Like I had no idea that we were getting enough points for us to get into that degree of the leaderboard. So on that end, like I was just like, okay, well, if we're still playing for SendouQ, why not like really push it? Like I gotta give like really like shout out to Kraken, because like Kraken really, like for TZS, Kraken has been such a spirit to the team that he just pushes us in a way that like for me, like I feel like, man, I feel so comfortable like having him as a teammate, because he pushes us to a degree that like, yeah, no, you're right, we should push this, because for a team like us, the TZS, like we have been growing as a team when it comes to the skill set and who we face against and how we may surprise even ourselves. So, the fact that we got like up to top 12 in SendouQ was a shocker to me. I did not expect that at all, especially within our 7 team dilemma. But yeah, no, it was fun.
Yeah, I want to also continue on that, and for more transparency for the viewers, one of our biggest issues as a team is just getting on the game together. And once we get on the game, then we are able to do pretty well. We just need to play, especially for something like SendouQ, something like SAC, which we did very well throughout these past few months. We were able to just get on the game together and grind up those points as a team, which is something we haven't really had the time to do.
Yeah, it was nice. I was kind of looking back at that a little bit at kind of how we did in the season, and when we played a lot kind of around late in the month in general, because we kind of noticed early November where we were. It was like, it was like a couple weeks out, and I was like, hey, we should try to get something in, just because we happened to be in a good position. I think it was like first week of November. Really noticed where we were. I think I noticed prior to, but like I didn't hard look at it until that November. And then like, hey, and then I'm looking at our thing. We played a little bit on the 7th, and then we from the 12th on where we did put in a good amount of sets. But unlike last time where we needed to grind at 4 a.m, we played a couple sets kind of per day, every couple days, just to kind of get us, a few points at a time. And I'll tell you what though, that last day that we did, that was intense. That Sunday, we had some insane sets there on the last day, and we came out on top. We played 3 sets, and we won all 3 of them, and 2 of them were 4 in 3 sets. They went to Game 7 both times, and and they were the first 2 sets, by the way. First 2 sets we played, because we played 3. It was bang, Game 7, and then we had our the one that we took a little bit of a safer bet on. We were able to just to kind of get a couple little bit of extra points, and it was just a good another set. It was our 4-0. But so shout out to the team we played on that last day. They made sure we had to put in a little bit of a grind in that last day, and we had to get a little sweaty there on that at the end.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, no, again, these are things that I go right over my head. Because, like, you guys, like, just hop on SendouQ or whatever. I, like, never know when you guys are actually, like, on for SendouQ. Like, sometimes I'll just see, like, everyone in the VC, and I'm like, oh, okay, stuff's going on. Or sometimes I don't even know at all that there is stuff going on. So
I mean,
but nonetheless, you guys earned it. And I mean, we were up. We'll get to this in a little bit, but I think you guys got up to like 8th on the leaderboard, right?
We were up higher at one point, but we finished 9th. Yeah. We finished 9th. Yeah. We were going into I think when we played, it was like that Thursday. Let me go back and look at the dates. So yeah, we played Thursday on the 14th, and then we didn't play again till Sunday because Pepe had some stuff going on in IRL, so the 4 of us couldn't get together again. And so on Thursday we ended 9th. And we watched ourselves do. And as we started on Sunday, we fell to 13th. So we went from 13th to 9th on Sunday. Oh, wow. Like literally, I think I refreshed it right before we started our set, and we dropped to 13th. And so we went from 9th to 13th to 9th again in those last weekend, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely had to earn it there at the very end.
Yeah, well, we knew it was going to be pretty close too, so it's like, hey, find as much time as we can to get as many sets as we can in, and it comes down to like actually putting the time in the game together.
It's as simple as that sometimes. Okay, well, hey, we made the dance. So let's talk a little bit about SendouQ Finals itself, because I think we all have opinions about how that went. So let's lay out the facts for everybody first. The facts are that we were the number 9 team on the leaderboard going into this. We got swapped into the number 3 seed, where we retroactively got informed by SendouQ that it was for group balancing. And then we proceeded to go 0-15, not winning a single game. And I think getting KO'd either 14 or 15 times.
A lot of games, a lot.
So,
it was not pretty. The only swap we should point out too. Us and the team we swapped to, which is My Little Henlo, no way involved in this. You know, it wasn't their decision. It was SendouQ. We were the only 2 teams swapped. And going into this, we looked at our group because, you know, it's snake seeding. We could predict that, and we correctly predicted that, with the exception of the seed change. We kind of had mentally prepped for some of these teams, and 2 of those teams we would have faced, we actually had scrimmed within that last week with Monsoon and the team that we faced, Dave. I can't think of the name. It starts with an H, I think, but I don't quite remember off the top of my head. We had scrimmed 2 of those teams. Thank you, David. Like, we felt mentally ready, because I think by far Group A was easier by a mile. No shame to the teams, because I do think they would have still kept us out of top like 4. Like, by all means, they're still really good teams. But there was like a Japanese pickup in that. You had Moonlight in there. You had which Moonlight? They went negative in that group. For reference, for those that know Moonlight, probably one of the better known teams in the community. They went negative in that group. A pickup with Jared was in there. Without delving into that too much, but still world champions. Yeah, like really solid teams in there in Group B. Everyone going into it like, hey, that's the hell group to be in, and then we got slid into the hell group.
Yeah. And no, we genuinely did. We like, and I am like, I think we all said it on the day of that. We are a type of team that, 1, we ride the vibes, and 2, like we'll play whoever. We at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know, whoever we get is who we get. We'll deal with it. We'll have to play it. But I think the frustrating part is that we were singled out as a team to swap groups, and I think that's the one thing that I ultimately did not appreciate. I think that there was a way that this could have been, gone about. And I think that you either, just from a TO perspective, I think if you're in that position, you either need to let it be because you have natural seeding integrated into that leaderboard, or you just reseed everybody and say, hey, here's, you're the 12 teams that made it. We're going to seed you now. And I would totally understand that. But I think the fact that we got singled out to be swapped to balance out the groups, I think is what really gave us an immediate mental obstacle of like, oh crap, like we are now we wanted to play with the big dogs. We got the biggest of dogs. And we just had to play with the hand that we were dealt. So frustrating, yes, but did we take it in stride? I think so.
It's good practice too. To clear, I would, in a lot of ways, we were going into this tournament as we knew that it was going to be kind of almost just basically a practice tournament for us. It was not about results. We kind of knew, hey, this is the first real shot we've been at a big table like this. We've occasionally played a team of two like this just on the fly, right? You get them one match in super jump or whatever, and then you don't see them again. This is the first time that we are guaranteed 5 sets against big dogs. We're at the big kids table, but we knew that it wasn't going to be one that we were likely to top 4 or anything like that. We were just trying to get that really good practice. We got the best practice out of it, but that was a little bit weird, that change, as David kind of highlighted. Which, by the way, just to clarify for everybody here, we didn't know that was that officially until round 5-ish. That's what had happened, to be clear, because I asked about it, because we had gone into this not really looking at the seed. We just saw we were 3rd seed and like, oh, how tournaments are, they'll reseed it later. Maybe that's how they just manually got entered. And then I went back and looked. Those were the only 2 teams, was us and my little Henlo, that was swapped. And I noticed that in like round 3 or 4. I'm like, so something's weird going on here. I'm just gonna ask SendouQ because we can, not any bad thing. It's just kind of, like I said, as David pointed out, a little mentally just like, what the heck's going on? And, we kind of had mentally prepared for different teams a little bit and did a little bit of homework. When we could have been, if we would have known beforehand, we could have done our homework on those teams. We may maybe still have gotten destroyed, but maybe we get a little bit better. Maybe those games that, if you guys go back and watch, we had plenty of close games. Maybe those games flip because we did a little bit more homework on those teams beforehand.
And we played against Halcyon and Monsoon. We played both of them. We know that we could take games off of them. And Healthy Giant Food Groups is another team that we were looking forward to playing against. We saw all the matchups and we were like, these are all teams that we can hang with. We could have some very competitive games. Again, we might have still gone 0-15. I don't know. I do think we do take a couple of games off of these teams. But at the very least, we don't get knocked out 15 times.
Yeah, no, I totally remember, within playing the SendouQ finals, in my mind, I was like, okay, I know we're losing a lot, but I definitely do feel like we can at least take, at least one game, right? Just at least once. And to give us a bit of credit, there were games that felt close. Not every single game was, a knockout, towards us. But while, there were a lot of, knockouts against us, there were so many games to where, mentally we were like, okay, we're so close to getting that win, but we're just not there excessively as a team to know, okay, this is how we will secure a win, because we haven't dealt with teams within this high level of a battle that we had just no idea how to go against that. And to go with what Kraken said, it is so nice to go against these high level players, because my goodness, the adrenaline that you get from facing with people who they are projected to win, we being the underdogs, there's this kind of adrenaline that you kind of feel that yeah, I can prove myself. We as a team can prove ourselves to win at least a match against a team like the JP. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys look back on specifically our JP set, there was this one time where David was looking at a blaster on the right side, and David Hagglefish. And David traded that blaster 2 times within the beginning of the match, and I was like, David, just that alone, I'm so proud of you. How did you manage to do that?
And it should not have been a trade. You literally watched the footage back, and it was an indirect that killed me. But of course, because it's JP, with the latency, it ended up being a trade. But legit.
First-hand look at that one.
Oh, I am so frustrated, but thank you, Pepe. I do appreciate it. Because like being able to just get at least we'll say it's a clean trade. All right, well, we'll officially call it a clean trade. But to get those trades with what is one of the best players in the JP scene right now, like I thought that JP set was probably I'm gonna just say third best set of the event. Especially which I think is fantastic because they won the whole damn thing. But like our objective play was a little bit off, but I think at that point we were playing just really loose. We were like, we have nothing to lose. Let's just take the fight to them, and we got some really good team fights. I think we all went even on our KDAs in those matches.
Yeah, and then on that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt better playing that set than the sets beforehand, like, to be completely honest. Just because, like, I did, like, forcefully tell myself, like, I'm just gonna loosen up because this set is just gonna be so on a high level that, like, it's gonna be hard to win. So, because of that, like, I legitimately felt like I was playing better than the sets beforehand, which is a weird, like, mentality thing, but, yeah, I mean, sometimes you definitely feel that way within those sets.
I should point out the blaster that we're talking about is Lobster. For those that might know that name, if you have any familiarity with the JP scene, when Brian knows your name, that says a lot. Brian had previously talked about Lobster, so that's that was the blaster that we were referencing earlier at that point. So just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah, so I would love to I have some beef with Lobster now. So if anyone can get me in touch. I want to run it back.
I can't you get like that's unlimited shrimp. Never mind. At Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Shrimp, yeah. I say you go beef with them. Go eat up a bunch of lobster. That'd be a great like post. David just eating plates and plates of lobster out of spite, but now it's shrimp. It's not lobster.
I don't even eat seafood.
Oh man.
No, I can't. I don't eat seafood.
It's over now.
Yeah, but I will say that even though that whole thing was rough, like you were saying, Pepe, I think there was some really good sets. The JP one, I think we reached a point of in like the stages of grief, we were at acceptance at that point, and I think we played better because of it. Even though we did get knocked out 3 times. But I will say that Black Lotus and Mango Heckmech, I think were 2 very doable sets. And I would love to find an opportunity to play them again, because I think that those are 2 teams that we actually we had good games against. We held strong leads at one point or another in those 2 sets. And I think pretty much in all of the games, we held leads at one point, but they just always found a way to get that one wipeout that just we couldn't bounce back from. So Black Lotus and Mango Heckmech, if you are hearing this as well, we would love to run it back at some point. We think we can hang. We think we can hang.
A scrim, please, like literally, and this is one of the many issues that we have in the Splatoon community, right? Like, not everyone gets a chance to scrim against high-level teams. So, having opportunities here and there for us to say, hey, like, we have a scrim here that's like on the higher level, like, we generally do get like pretty happy about it, because not every day do we have a scrim against like a high-level team, and I know that many people like have expressed like just so many problems onto that, and honestly, the best advice that I can give you, at least within what works with me, is just really just connect to the people that you want to like face. Even just say hi. Like I know I don't really tell you guys much this like to my team, right? But like, I'm not gonna lie, on the low key end of things, I'm like, hey, I DM a specific person, or maybe like 2-3 people in the team that we face, and be like, hey, you did a good job. And because you give yourself that idea that like, hey, I'm friendly with you, if you're friendly with me back, maybe there's that kind of connection that we can like at least be mutual. And so whenever you get a day where like, hey, I want to ask for a scrim, they may be nice to you back and be like, you know what? Why not? I see the DMs back. You told me that I did a good job. I'll accept that, and that has happened to me before. So yeah, like that's just like an advice that I'll give to anyone that has issues with finding a scrim. Just literally DMs. Those servers that like you ask for scrims, it helps here and there. But if you really want to go for a team that you want the scrim for, take that advice.
It also helps if you're the most wholesome person in this entire community. That also helps.
Be
kind to one another.
Be kind.
There's more people, but yeah, like literally just be kind. Like, yeah.
I mean, if you know someone for a long time, at some point they'll get back. They'll get back to you. You know.
Yes.
Just like the history with me and Pepe.
I had no idea.
Because here's a fun fact for everyone. I knew Pepe before I knew David and Kraken.
And I had no idea. Like, no idea.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this.
Yeah, like I don't think I never talked to Kraken or David before. It was sometime in mid 2019. I'm pretty sure at the very earliest it could have possibly been, probably closer to like 2020 area, 2020.
You can say probably 2020, I think.
Yeah, for
it
you,
wasn't
I think
2019. That's for sure.
Yeah. Kraken might be 2019, probably like late, but we could always fact check me on that later. But
I was trying to.
But I talked to Pepe in summer of 2018.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like that's really crazy to think. Because I when you told me how you knew about me, I was like, wait, what? Like I don't even remember the person that like made us connect, like for such a long time. So it's crazy how like, you know, for people that you follow, for content creators, and like just creators that you are with, like you'll be surprised. Like sometimes the community just feels like a small world, and that's
that's
pretty cool.
Our first messages were March 21st of 2021, for reference. In terms of PMs, anyways, which is it's because of Dual Link. Actually,
I was gonna say it's probably Dual Link because that's where we all ended up meeting each other pretty much. At least me, Vapor, Kraken, the three of us all met through Dual Link. So whatever that is, that's probably the same time for
Dual Link March 2021, and then we talked about IPL and such later on. And then I think I knew like Pika and such a little bit better actually than you. Because the next message is telling you a gun emoji to tell Pika happy birthday on stream. So yeah, in April, the next month over.
Oh.
A month later, we've talked twice in PMs. Gun emoji, you better go say happy birthday. As I like to tell everybody, the gun emoji. Like when I entered the CCA server, sending a gun emoji into a college server, that was probably not a smart idea. First message in CCA.
David's reaction is priceless right now.
Yeah, I should have banned his ass. I should have banned him.
I think the three of us were involved when you joined as well, which made it even better.
God. Also, here, real quick, since there were, I'll talk about scrims earlier. This is just a quick little thing. OBT just DM me. Are y'all busy right now? We are looking for a scrim at the hour. So, just.
I mean, live scrim scheduling?
Yeah, like I got the DM not too long ago.
That's hilarious.
That's ironic.
I don't know if I could do a long scrim, but maybe I could start it. And Pork or Mewtwo, if they want to play, I will concede my spot to them. But...
Okay, because I could play if the others are down, of course.
It might have to be a little wishy-washy at the start time, though, just in case we go a little long here or something like that.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I can let it be now.
Yeah.
Just
more.
Just drop the link. Don't even respond. Like, don't tell.
Just
No
drop-
context. Drop a link.
Yeah, that's
And
probably a
then-
good idea. But I probably would mention that we're only going roughly an hour for the podcast part of today, so just so you know.
Okay.
That way he knows, like, hey, we are doing something, but not long after that we will be for sure done.
The TZS podcast is secretly just TZS open office hours.
Yeah.
We're... I mean, that's the reason that we have chat. I made sure that chat was in the bottom corner next to Pepe, was so we could see it live as well. You went the wrong way there, Vapor, but yeah, there you go. Just so like I can read it on the fly easier, and then like I can catch it. I don't know how good the quality of the stream to you guys, if you're not watching it on the side as well, you could read that, but hey, it's there. I think it's a cool little thing because that's why we do this live a little bit too. It's just like, hey, we see some things, talk about it, occasionally reply to them. Looking at like Kin earlier, Pepe replied earlier to some folks. So I think, are you guys ready to switch over to talk about Riptide? Because I am curious, and we've talked a bit about it, but I, of course, have a different perspective than you guys do. For those that don't know, I TO Riptide with Raze, along with, getting help from the production folks and things like that. But these three, along with Pork, Pork is everywhere, guys. Love you, Pork. If you're listening, because he did say that he would be listening, but I might have scared him away with my Splatoon 2 shirt.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I have the Chaos shirt. I think it's a perfect one for this.
It should be
I could have went with my past shirt. I had that ready. And I was like, I'll go Chaos because Chaos is fun. So I'm a TO. We're getting back to Riptide. I have the TO perspective, but then you guys had played, which, by the way, helped me lose my voice. Thanks, guys. But I think we'll get into that. So, yeah, you guys want to hop into your Riptide experience, which Vapor has the shirt right now. This way.
I did have the shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm the only one that doesn't have actually anything related. I'm wearing.
David, you're wearing your classic blue jacket.
I'm wearing the blue hoodie. This is my favorite hoodie. Okay, so we're not sponsored, but Uniqlo, best clothing store. Everything there made fantastic. I love the designs of them and just the way that they feel. I guess this doesn't really have a design per se, but Uniqlo. But no, I do not have Splatoon. I have my Uniqlo hoodie and a Thirst Project shirt. Two of the most comfortable clothing items that I own.
These past 2 days, I've been wearing Riptide shirts. 2 days ago, I was wearing my 2023 Riptide shirt. Yesterday, I was wearing my 2024 Volunteer shirt. So...
Fair.
Pepe's wearing Sunset Surge, by the way. So because I don't know what the top of that was. I knew what the top of it was, but yeah, Sunset Surge out there in Arizona. When's your next one, Pepe? Real quick.
More on a different podcast. I mean, I won't say the year. I won't say the year. I won't say the month. But
the year.
Next year. Okay.
Twice. I know.
I'm taking a hiatus, guys.
I didn't know if you had one announced for December or if you were gonna punt until the beginning of the year. So I was curious.
No, unfortunately, we will not have one for December. Shoutouts to the team that won last year. No, I won't say who it is.
Last year.
Yeah, no, we will not have one for December, but expect one for 2025. So more on that in the future.
TM.
Yes.
TM. But yeah, Riptide. Let's just kind of break it down because we played 7 matches in the entire event. And I guess, from our perspective as players, let's just start from the top, right? We were the 15th seed?
I want to say yes. Seeds were a little bit, to be clear, they were not exact science. for reference as for everybody. Seeds, we kept you within your number. So if you were, I think we had 12 groups off the top of my head. I might be wrong on that number, but let's just say 12 groups for the sake of it. Because some people could not make it, say, to the early wave or something like that, you may have been slid from like the 12th seed to the 10th seed or something like that. So there was a few that happened to. Let me, like, if I get my eating sheet. Oh, look, there it is. It's still in my history. It pops right up. So for reference, we use multiple people for seeding. And so you guys were seeded 15th overall. Without
so
again,
DG has us as 15th as
so
well.
Yeah,
so
you guys didn't get moved. You guys, because you guys were in the second wave. I think it ends up making it that you guys were in the second wave or whatever, and you guys just asked not to be in the first wave because you weren't getting there until really late, David.
Oh, David,
off the top
that's
of my
right.
head.
Yeah.
So
I got there at like 6 a.m. maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah, your flight landed at like 5 a.m. or something like that.
Yep, and I did not get to. It was like a little after, so I got to the Kalahari at like 7. So then I knocked out for 4.5, 5 hours.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
your group, your top seed was affected. For reference, eventually we'll be talking about Orca Ballesta later. But for reference, while we're talking about seeding, they were one of the ones that had to get switched out. I don't think they needed to. I think the team we swapped them did, but it doesn't matter. But they were seeded 11th overall, so they were not the team you were originally meant to face. Actually, in your group, which is something that'll come up later again, because again we had 12 groups, so you guys would have been facing Power's team. It looks like again with 12 groups. You guys would have originally been facing Power's team.
The NFC East.
And yeah, they changed their name a few times, so I wasn't sure what it was. They were like, one time they were a Bills directly. I think then they changed it to AFC East, which was really cool, by the way. They all wore different jerseys, which was awesome. So they actually were the original team in your group. I think they were the ones that needed to swap out. They had to play later due to a player coming in, not until like the afternoon. So, yeah, you guys actually got a different group, but that'll relate later in the story, but I feel like I'm going to set that up while we're discussing the seeding, because I think that is an important note.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were a 15 seed. And then, I guess, day one, we obviously were in a position, as the 15 seed, to where we're going to have, like, we're towards the end of the snake, or where the snake turns around. So we knew that whichever team was going to be above us, like, it was going to be close. But nonetheless, I mean, let's talk very briefly about the other two teams, Coughing Baby and the guys. So, shout out to them. We definitely, I remember with the Coughing Baby set, we were cold, like really cold.
Oh yeah.
Even with the guys set as well, like we were really cold on both of those sets. So game one was not clean by any means.
No.
The guys was actually on stream too.
Yeah.
So I remember initially it was like because we got wiped out in Rainmaker Humpback. And Twig was cooking. Like we were, for the first minute, we were just so rocky, and then finally when we got some footing, we were like, okay, breathe a second, we're good. Like, and then we managed to just walk right past the guys. But they did give us a good scare for the opening part of the set. So shout out to them, because I always love playing against folks like Twig. But then comes the fun part. The third set, Orca Ballesta Part 1. And this was probably the most electric set that I've ever been a part of off stream.
I would have a front row seat to it, by the way, because the TO help desk. You know what, help desk. The TO help desk was right there, and when I wasn't running around, I was behind the desk, so I got to watch that head on. By the way, so I'm watching this as much as I can. But
I'm trying to see what the map list was, because it was Clamblitz Museum, Tower Undertow, Splatzone's Hagglefish, Rainmaker Robo.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I specifically
I'm gonna be real.
The Hagglefish one. Yes,
I don't remember the specifics, so you guys are gonna have to help me out on this one. But I just remember the emotions and some of the things that were said.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
I remember that first game, the museum one, where it was late into the game, so to the point, and I'm gonna get into a little bit about like disconnects here on LAN as well, but we're gonna get into that. The first game, even if you want to look at online disconnects, it's usually about 50% of the game, 50% of the score, or the actual timer. If any of those pass, then you are allowed to replay for normal online events. On LAN, there are basically no DC rules to begin with.
There are.
Because
no, there are. That's exactly the DC rules.
There are.
I was going to talk about this eventually because I have a conflict of interest as a TO that I had to make sure I follow the rules to the T. So
that is true.
There is rules. They're not mentioned anywhere, but it is just the same as you mentioned. Half the time, half the score. Though if we're like running behind or something like that, will lead to be on the side of giving someone a DC more often than taking it from them. Assuming time and everything is an option, because we want to give people more games if we can, and we'd rather play the game out if we can. You're paying a lot of money to come to an experience, and so there's times and places we have to just play the rule as it is. Especially at that point, we were super behind, and so we kind of had to be kind of aggressive. We had to play to the rule in groups, but the rule was there and it was followed to a T for reference. Again, as a TO, I had to play it to a T because I didn't want to be claimed in any way that I'm because it ended up, for reference, is going to favor TZS. So I had to play it to a T, and even if it didn't favor you, I want to play it to a T just because that
of course.
I want to have no chance of being called in either way. Even if you guys were like, you played it against us, so that way we didn't yell that. What the hell, Kraken? We have to deal with you every day. You guys couldn't at least make it to a T. Like it just. I had to play it extra safe with that. I probably wanted Ray's to take over, but he was already doing an audio issue, so it kind of came down to I had to make that call myself at that time. And so, again, I was already admittedly watching it, so it was very convenient. I knew exactly the time and score without having to ask anybody. But I think I did confirm. But yeah, sorry, I kind of interrupted there, but I'll let Vapor continue.
That's fine. But the time of the disconnect was about halfway through the game, but our score was way past that. We had
scored 69
30.
points.
Yeah, there's about 30-ish remaining at that time. 31 was that final score, but at that time of the disconnect, and we were able to just hold that defense, hold that line, and then confirm with staff that nothing else is any sort of issue there. So we just continue on to the next game, which was tower control on Undertow, if I remember that correctly.
Did we lose that one? I think that's the one we lost.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And especially with the 4 we ran, we didn't really have that combination of speed plus aggressive using specials to keep us forward. So we were always on that back foot, and we were just unable to collect ourselves against an Inkjet, Zuka, and a heavier rushdown comp that Orca Balestra commonly runs. So
that sounds about right.
So at that point, you know that Orca Balestra, especially with Squeak, can get a little hot-headed with words at some points, and we kind of just use that to our advantage there.
Yeah, no, I think that's where it started. Like, it started really kind of, the match seeped out of the game in that moment, where Squeege obviously is, a very vocal personality, great person, at least from what I understand. But yeah, it was very, very intense with the rest of the Orca team, like yelling, like, you know, like come on guys, like why aren't we with it? Like why are we pushing up, or you know, stuff like that. Like even when they won that game too, like, you know, started, you know, I guess shouting towards us, you know, like trying to like be like we're better, but also still shouting at their team for the what seemed to be some of the shortcomings that in that game too. And we kind of recognize that as like a, hey, they're taking this a little bit much. You know, let's just play on this. Like if we can continue to kind of get into their heads, then we have this set on lock.
Oh yeah, no, I remember specifically within that Hagglefish game, on the talk of Squeege, like there was this one time, I know Shiny and Ren saw it. I never got the clip of it just because like I was super like locked into that match. But there was this one point where like I did a over the arc on the left pillar on Hagglefish. Over the arc, I got the Suka shot on Squeege, and hearing Squeege just say words on that land after I got that kill was something that, like, it always you know what, like it did like bring me more energy, because like I'm not gonna lie, hearing the reactions after getting that shot just made me lock in even more to where I did not even like take the clip at all. But it was awesome. It was great. Like that kind of energy is honestly what really brings those memorable moments within lands, because without them, like, you know, it'll be more bland on that end. Of course, within reason. But yeah, it's very, very within reason is the key part.
Keep it within reason. I've had a couple times where I've had to get this jargon. We've had to talk, let's say, Raze and I, after events, like, where's our limit that we're going to have to start implementing? Luckily, this year, I think we're actually I would say things were a hair simmer than the year before, overall, in terms of that, because, by the way, Shiny agrees with you, Pepe. Shiny agrees with you, if you didn't catch that.
They're here.
It simmered down a hair, but last year, I think 2023, we had hit that limit a little bit with a couple groups, but we kind of said, hey, we're gonna leave it chill, and we're not gonna like do anything now. But next year, this year, the one that passed of it gets that limit again, we're gonna have to say something. Though in previous years, I've had to actually talk to people about things said. Some bad words shouted across the venue,
in the proximity of children.
In the proximity of children. And let's be real, the children wouldn't care. It's the parents. It's the parents that I have to go, that I was just chatting with, that I'm happy that they're supporting esports and stuff. Because, like, genuinely, I would assume, I don't know if you guys growing up, how much your parents were super. Admittedly, my mother wasn't, but she started to come around on it more. These parents are like paying tons of money to fly out their kid and stay this, and then they're hearing somebody shout an F-bomb that everybody in the venue can hear. I'm sure production hears it behind the thing. I'm like,
not gonna name names, but yeah, there was a couple of standouts. But at the very least, I appreciate that Squeege's intensity never got, like, it never seemed like it got particularly personal or you know, crude in the language utilized or anything like that. So I can appreciate someone that can bring that intensity, but like is really they're just like that, and they're not trying to bring a bad vibe necessarily.
And I also want to bring it back to one of our original points with the SendouQ stuff, where we are that more vibes-based team, and especially running off a lot of energy, all that adrenaline on land, and shout outs to all our supporters that were behind us, supporting us even off stage, just just lending your energy to us, basically, and alongside with the other team, bring that energy back to us as well. We were able to just amplify our own play.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, I don't know if we mentioned this enough, but like truly to those out there that support TZS and like us, like as a whole, like individually and whatnot, like those kinds of support.
Oh,
Warning.
okay. I was like, what's cracking like laughing about? I'm like, Pepe's just trying to like, be like, hey, thank you all for like the support and whatever. I'm like, damn, like I'm missing something.
What's that on top of you? Hold on. What is that on top of the camera?
I'm eating a chicken slider.
Okay, but like, what's covering like what's up with the Apple like bezel? Like you look like an iPhone 10.
My bad. The USB camera I bought has this little cover that I can put over my camera.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
I'm eating a chicken
I'm
slider.
dying.
Yeah, I just want to say hi. I went to Walmart, but I need to go back because I forgot to buy something.
Oh
Okay.
My God.
You better be back for the scrim. Mew.
Yeah, Mew, did you
Yeah,
hear
you
when
better
we
go.
got
You got like
Scrim.
15 minutes, my guy. Or scrims will start in 15
Okay,
minutes.
here, I will say this. I did tell OBT that we will get there like at the 30-minute mark, like at the very latest. So we got a bit time.
Okay, but we'll try to get there about 15.
But yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Pepe. I have a problem. A second chicken slider has hit the podcast.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't even know they were selling those at Walmart.
Are those the ones that you were talking? You guys can't see me, so I'm just a disembodied voice right now.
God.
But are those the? I didn't get time to make a 5-person camera, as I talked about earlier. But Moo, is those the chicken sliders you were talking about before that you really
Nope.
liked? Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
These were made at 5:15.
All right, Mew, did you have anything more to say before we get
Oh
back
my
on to serious topics?
Sorry, I have something to say. I'm just opening my second chicken slider.
Oh my
If you
God.
guys need proof, here are the 2 bags that I bought. And then let me show you the receipt. Let me show you
No,
the
we
receipt.
don't. Okay,
Please
now.
don't.
Okay.
Please no.
This was $3.73 in total.
It shows the
Okay,
other-
wait, hold on. Actually, wait.
Wait,
That's a great deal.
So you get 2 buns and then the chicken in the middle. See this shit? See that fucking chicken?
That's crazy. That's what a chicken slider is.
Yeah.
Okay, but actually for $3 and like 72 cents or whatever it is, that's actually a pretty banger deal. So
Mhm.
Speaking of banging.
Nope. Okay.
Oh,
This is
all
where it
right,
goes.
yeah, that is
wait,
moment
wait,
with you
hey,
two.
whoa. You have a dirty mind. You have a dirty mind, David. Yeah, but I wasn't gonna talk about banging. Like,
Okay.
All right, buddy.
but anyways,
Let's wrap it up.
let me say something.
Mhm.
You know, TZS are some of the best people I know. I love the work
Aww.
ethic or the lack thereof that we all have. I love how we all just kind of sit in this VC playing this children's video game for relatively no money. I love how at Lance, we basically lose more money than we gain, even after
That is
we
true.
win.
Preach it.
But you know what? We do this shit for the love of the game and because we enjoy each other's company. Except for maybe Brian. Maybe that's why he's in Japan right now. But anyways, shout out Pepe. Gotta be the girthiest man I know because
Okay, this
you know,
is he's done.
All
now.
right.
All right,
It's
this is
just
where
bull.
he,
It's not
like
this
I
is
was
where he's
saying, right?
gone.
I
Okay,
love
goodbye,
his,
Moo.
I love his splatter shot. Hey, what the?
Okay.
So like I was saying, for everyone that has been supporting TZS, like
Thanks, man.
thank you all who have been saying like just giving us the hope and like within us seeing all those comments from you people that keep supporting us, like it does like bring more light and more. It makes it more enjoyable to really participate in these events. So really, like thank you all, truly.
No, I'm glad that Pepe managed to pretend like nothing ever happened in the last 3 minutes.
It was like a commercial break in the middle of that. I was trying to tee it up quietly, but y'all brought it up. I was letting him,
Man.
but I on
Yes, David.
so on
Go
that
ahead,
note
David.
though, For one, and this goes for everything. But like we're going Riptide, but yeah, like the fact that we just always had people watching our sets, like on stream, off stream, was always it was always such a feels good. Like you always knew where TZS was playing in the venue, always. Because there was a crowd that built up, there was always, a level of excitement that was kind of coming with it. Because I think people quickly recognized, like, hey, like these guys are for real. Obviously Kraken's there and like try to be loud too. And we're just a loud team when we're playing in LAN. Like there's a reason that we, all kind of like hype each other up like as LANimals. Because we just perform so much better, like we're just so energetic, and I think that's what helps to bring in the crowds, and we feed off of that energy. Like I know Popgun had even said, and we'll talk about it more in just a moment, but the Fiend set, like Popgun was like that Fiend set versus TZS. Like there was so many people watching it. Like he basically said it was the best set that you did not see on stream.
It was the biggest. It had the biggest circle. As someone who could actually, that wasn't in the sets, that was the biggest circle. And I think you had multiple you probably had the top 3 biggest circles of people around you for off-stream sets this year. In previous years, even that you guys went to Riptide last year as well, there's some people that beat you out. Like Cherry Limeade, a good example. Love you, Shiny, Shiny, who's there. But this year, I think you guys had the top 3 biggest circles of people just watching, and we had to slightly, as a TO, kind of think about that, like where we're going to push you guys. Actually, we had to consider that. That's why
there's gonna be a little bit of crowd. We can't shove them in the corner.
Yeah, we're the Fiend, the
safety hazard.
The Fiend set. That's why we put you where we put you, because you guys were a little bit separated from everybody else, because we weren't using those corner sets then. And so it's like those 2 are kind of free play, and then it's like 5 is kind of its own little thing against the wall. It's against the wall, which is a little bit sucky, but then you're not interfering with another group around you. Only like the one short side interferes with anybody that's playing any games. And then they were like already in game 3 or something like that because of the way everything was offset. Like, so they had less conflict with the big circle that ended up getting around you guys for Fiend.
Oh yeah, like real quick for Fiend, like shout outs to them. Like we're talking Landstorm, Balloon, and Cuber. Like that set alone, hey, 1 point loss at the game 5. Like, look, that set was amazing. It really could have been one or the other, but to me, like, it felt like it did not feel bad to lose because it was such a good set overall.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, with that Fiend set. So I guess first of all, on that topic, thanks, Kraken. On like, just to kind of tie up the whole like support topic here, and I know we're a little bit out of order for Riptide, but I remember that we like started game 1, and I kind of looked and I'm like, where's the party at? Like I told you guys, I was like, come on, like we've had like a big support group every single match, and like nobody was there for the start of Feed versus TZS. Nobody was. And eventually, the crowd starts to slowly build, and people are like, what are they watching? Like, why is there a crowd there? And then, more people are like, oh man, that's a pretty good sized crowd. We'll go over there. And yeah, by the end of it, it was just a big group of people that, were cheering on, both us and Fiend. And obviously, game 5 came down to the final point. Like it was 1 point. It was a 1 point difference.
It was 1.
I don't think neither team scored past the 4-minute mark. Like 4 minutes remaining mark.
It was Rainmaker Scourge, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was Rainmaker Scourge. But
it was a chippy beginning.
Neither team could just create that major offensive explosion push, which, looking at our comps, both teams should have that capability to do so. But it was just a defensive-heavy game, and just scrappy back and forth trades. No one could really get out of mid.
So with
For
that,
the record, the score on that match was 53-52 in favor of.
I was just gonna say, wasn't both the scores low 50s? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was about to say. So David beat me to the punch there on that, because I knew neither team got over 60. Which, as someone who was watching, I'm like, both teams should be able to beat this, and then neither team was able to beat it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It felt so neck and neck.
Yep. And yeah, no, and then I don't want to like, I just want to like very generally highlight this because I know we as a team have talked about this moment, but like the amount of emotion that was in that set as well. Like you like Fiend, like you could see like they were going through it, and it was emotional for them to, I think, effectively be like, I don't know if like, the exact reasons and whatnot. I think we all kind of came to our own conclusions on that, but like to basically see that we kind of invoked those very strong emotions out of these top level players that we respect the heck out of was a compliment in of itself. Like it was just like I felt kind of bad, but I was also like, but like, damn, like the fact that we did so well to get to that point, and to play our butts off and get 1 point away from what I still believe was a top 6 run. I think if that is a 1 point win in our favor, we make top 6 wholeheartedly.
Because after that, Fiend, after whatever happened with our set, had to go up against Chips, which I'm pretty sure was a team combination of Chara, Max, and Rito +1.
Something like that.
If I remember that correctly. So,
Chara, Rito, Max, Storm Hero was the roster.
Storm Hero.
Okay. But
we like that matchup there.
Yeah, I believe we could have taken them on too. Again, might have been another close set, but I do believe that we could have taken them on, which probably would have thrown us up against Bronze, who we scrimmed earlier that day.
Oh, and that's just the whole story in and of itself. Like that morning that we luckily got scrimmed with Bronze, which will then lead us to going back to the Orca Balestra set and how we were able to manage somehow a comeback, specifically on Manta, which we'll get to. But David, I would love for you to set the scene up for us.
And,
sure thing.
Don't forget to mention this one's on stream this time. The second one's on stream.
Yeah.
It's on the Riptide VODs, on the IPL YouTube channel. So that you can actually watch this one back that we're about to discuss for the second Orca Balestra set. 3
of our 7 sets were streamed, which is actually really cool. That's a really high percentage that I don't think many other teams got, that level of coverage. But hey, that's just awesome.
Can I cut you in real quick, David, because you're about to start about the second set. Something I should set up with the first set, because we kind of went out of order here. We were talking about the Fiend set and such, which happened after this set we're about to talk about. Before this, coming into it, we talked about the upsetting of Orca Balestra. They were the number 1 seed in their group. They didn't have to play. TZS did not have to play Saturday at all. So the format, because they won their group, they didn't have to. That's why they only had 7 sets. You had less than Orca Balestra did, because you guys did not have to play at all on Saturday.
We got ice cream.
We did get ice cream.
Oh yeah,
thanks, David.
Oh, that was such a good
I just wanted to add that little note because in case you missed that. But yes, that upset was huge because then they ended up effectively being the winner of their group. Did not have to play at all Saturday. They're coming in Sunday facing Orca Balestra again, and I'll leave it to David here. Set the rest.
Which I have some quarrels with, but I trust the way that you and Ray set that up. But I thought it was like, damn, like that's levels of messed up. Like we did work our butts off to beat Orca Balestra, and now we gotta play them in round 1.
I don't think they won their group. I think in the lower side they didn't, and that's why you faced them again.
Yeah,
it was because they didn't win on the low side. So to be clear, you have to remember it's not that they just won their next thing and then you guys are facing a team that's high. No, they would have been a second out of one of the groups and not winning the group, which is what threw it funky. We thought about manually changing it because of that one specific bit, which is that it was because they didn't win their group. We left it, and it's just one of those weird coincidental, because you guys are both near that where it starts to snake back around. You guys happen to face each other again.
And even then, I mean, I'll say Kraken and Ray's cooked, because this set that we got streamed was. Oh, sorry, Dave.
It was a blessing in disguise, I think. We'll put it like that.
Yeah. Can we pull up the maps for that as well, by the way?
I absolutely can. I have them right here.
Because I think the maps will definitely help tell that story a lot more.
Yeah, so top 32 winners. It started. So we sat down and we saw this map list, and let's just put it like this: we called our shot because we saw it and said, okay, it's game 1, Clamblitz, Barnacle, and Dime. Game 2, Tower Control, Undertow. 3, Splatzone's Mako. 4, Rainmaker, Manta. 5, Clamblitz, Umami. And we knew with that group of 4 that Clamblitz, Barnacle, and Tower Undertow were our 2 worst map modes heading into Riptide. Like, we worked on those 2 map modes in particular, but we still understood it. Wow, we are booty cheeks at these 2 map modes. And we looked at each other, we said, hey, these first 2 games are going to be rough. But we're going to try our best. Let's see if we can steal one of these first 2 games. And we know that the back 3 are ours. We called it right off the bat. But, of course, as you kind of start to get into the match, we see, game 1, 100-0 push. Game 2, probably 100-0 push in, split into maybe 2 or 3 pushes.
Orca's pissed. Orca is playing mad coming out of this. Now they had lost to you guys, and then they didn't even win their group in day 2. But they made the dance, and that's part that matters. So they're coming in pissed off in your set.
Yeah,
you could just tell the way their mannerism, and
serious props to them, because they generally played out so well that they had a solution against us within those maps. Even if let's just say it was not our favorable maps, it was still man, they were so rough, and it looked super one-sided within those 2 matches.
Yeah. I think that's an understatement. We look bad. Real bad.
Oh, we definitely did.
Even Nito, our wonderful number 1 hater who was on the mic, was even you could tell the concern watching it back of between Nito and Cactus, they're just what's going on? This
He was really happy.
but they both recognize that this is not the TZS that played Orca yesterday. We were quiet.
Friday.
Friday.
2
Friday.
Days. It would have been 2 days because remember you had breakdown.
True. That is true. But yeah, they were this wasn't the team that played Orca on Friday. That team was loud. That team, on Friday, I was yelling at Squeege, "We can get loud too. What the?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we were not like that at all at the start of Sunday. We were a little tired, a little just not with it. We knew those 2 games were gonna suck, and they did.
Oh yeah.
And everything started to turn around about 30 seconds to a minute into the Mako Zones game. We also had a pretty slow start in that, but it was canceling our biggest weakness, and especially with the 4 we had, it was that inkjet. Once we canceled that inkjet, things started to slowly turn around back into our favor.
I
It really did.
remember canceling that inkjet quite memorably. Specifically within the 5th match of Umami. That's when I really.
I was gonna say the Umami one was the iconic one.
I literally woke up and I got 2 kills with the Zuka against the inkjet. One with a kickflip in the middle, and then the other one I literally called out the inkjet on their dome, and it was me. I was super locked in within where I was gonna hit those super shots. It was so good.
Yeah. No, Splatzone's Mako was rough for the first minute. So, but then, once we started to get a couple of picks. We kind of just brute force our way back in, and once we get control in Mako, we're in a comfortable position. But our problem is getting there, especially with that group of 4. So we I think all of us, I could probably speak for all of us by saying, like, even about a minute in, I think we were all like nervous and like, oh man, we're really about to get shut out by Orca Balestra.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's what part of what was going through my mind, but obviously you're trying to fight back on that mentally to push back and keep yourselves in it. So and we did, and obviously that was a big turning point.
Yeah.
So I do think that the Mako Zones was probably the least memorable of the comeback, but that could just be me.
But it was definitely a key component into the energy switch that we all needed. Like, yeah, it wasn't our hottest play of all time, but it was still a major energy switch into our favor.
Yeah, no, Vapor, I'm gonna shout out to you real quick because, like David said, in the first minute of Mako Zones, it was so tough. Like, mentally, David, I agree with you. I was like, are we actually going to get like 3-0 against us? Like, that was a thought that I also had within my mind, David. And I was like, there's no way. And so when Vapor got a kill off the Inkjet, that's when I was like, okay, the energy is back. We're starting to feel each other out within like how we play as a team within this specific map mode. And that just snowballed within that match. It was
and it's the prep talk as well. We knew those were not going to be an amazing start. So just prep talk. Keep it rolling. Keep that energy and reset back to where we know how to play the game.
Yeah, like literally before the Mako Zones games, like I was there to tell you guys, I'm just gonna do like a mental reset. Like, I don't care like what happened within those 2 matches. Mental reset. I am going at this match like it was our first, and let's just do it. Like, we're on stream. We have nothing to lose. Well, there was a big thing to lose. Going on the losers bracket immediately. But yeah, that the adrenaline in that set was off the charts. I tell you.
Yeah, we started getting loud. And that's when TZS is cooking. The louder we are, the more confident we are, and that's when you don't want to be playing against us. But yeah, I mean, and then we go into game 4, which is Manta Rainmaker, and even that one was rough.
Oh my god!
Like, they had a lead on us for the first 4 minutes of the game.
4.5 minutes.
Yeah, and
David for enabling such a comeback. Like, I would have never imagined. Like, as the comeback and the lead happened, in my mind I was like, David, you are a god. You made the best shot call of all time within that match. Not only did you get 2 kills next to the Rainmaker,
I got 3.
You got,
it was a triple. They only got 2, and Cactus only shouted out 2, but it was actually a triple.
Right. You got triple. Well, even better. So David literally enabled the opportunity for us to get that lead. For Vapor, he got the Rainmaker, and we were originally going to go to the right side, which, if we pushed the right side even more, that could have just been it. Like, that could have been that stop. They still got the lead, and that's it. But going back to the scrim that we had with Bronze, there was a specific play that we had within that scrim that was like, oh, that was pretty cool. We had a comeback lead pushing Rainmaker to the left. Cool. That happened in the scrim. Literally, within that match, David called a shot, Vapor went to the left, and Vapor, just amazing movement, was able to get us that lead. Yeah.
If you didn't squid roll that either, you die.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, it didn't, like, shear any like armor with the squid roll, but it kept me low and it pushed me along, which is exactly what we needed.
Like, it was just a perfect sequence, and it was all enabled by having that way too early scrim.
Yeah.
Hey, I was in there 8 o'clock every day, so you guys could scream if you wanted to. So
Yeah.
Okay, but we also didn't go to bed until like 2 a.m. that night or something like that. So it was a little bit self-inflicted. But
Yeah, but like it was still a huge play. Honestly, any other special other than that Kraken, I would have stayed and tried to stall on that right side. Since it was the Kraken from the range blaster that came out to rush me, I decided to jump across and go left after you made that call, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the opening in it. Like, I just was like, go left. Like,
Yeah,
we just did this earlier. Like, go left. We know what to do. And you saw the Kraken. You're like, oh, yep, nope, left. And the Kraken could not catch you.
I remember David screaming, go left. And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. Like, David is making a good call here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
it was. I think that having that triple into that shot call is the single greatest play that I have made in my Splatoon career. Awesome. It's up there with the Clablitz Mako versus on crack. I think those are probably the two best moments I've ever had in Splatoon. That single game moment.
Not to mention, you got the kill of the Rainmaker on the same match in Manta Maria in overtime.
True. That is true. Yeah, it was probably. I'm sad. I don't think I ever actually got the. Actually, do I have the stats from that game? 1 second. Yes, I do. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So here's the stats real quick.
That was just like David's game, like within less than 30 seconds. That was just like it was David and then Vapor executing that comeback.
So for the record, we did not play great.
Yeah.
The final score is 85-80. Vapor went 10-6-5 on KA deaths and specials. I went 10-10-3. Pork went 7-6-4. Pepe, you went 10-14-5.
Oh man.
And then Lenke went 17-6-5 on the shot. Squeege went 9-7-4. Capine 12-10-3, and then Femi 13-3-4 on the ball point.
Yeah, Femi on the ball point. Like, God, Femi, if you're listening, like, keep up with the ball point because that legitimately gave us so much trouble. Like throughout that whole set. Who
needs heavy edit when you can just do ball point, right? Because heavy edit's got a little love lately, but without turning it too much, we're getting low on time, so I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Keep it on Riptide here.
Yeah. For sure. But I mean, and then, obviously with that just being as iconic as it was, and then going into that last one with Clamblitz Umami, like we were just firing on all cylinders. Then you get like the Zuka kill on the Inkjet Pepe, and I think that's when, at least that's the moment I knew that we are gonna win the set. Like as soon as you got a kill like that, I'm like, that's such a mental breaking moment to be in the middle of a reverse sweep, and then to go down like that. I was like, we're gonna win this damn game. Like,
yeah, not only once but twice on stream was a Zuka kill captured from Pepe in that one game.
It was awesome. Like I don't know what like there's just this mentality that I get within Zuka, like especially against Inkjet on Manta, like Femi was screwing me up so much. So like I legitimately had a just one-on-one like with Femi, like, okay, you're not gonna get us if you play Inkjet and you live, we just have less of a chance to win. So getting that Inkjet for me was my goal, and I'm glad that like mentally I was there to execute it.
Absolutely. And then and the pop off from there, like we just all jump up, like we're celebrating, then we're all feeling it. I like get up on the chair. I don't know if yes, this is my favorite LAN photo that I have ever seen, because it just fully encapsulates like the emotion of the moment. And like legit, like when I saw this photo, I like it made me like slightly emotional. I was like, damn, like bro, like you just kind of relive, like you see the photo for the first time, you just kind of relive all of the emotion of that set, that tournament run. Like It's the best TZS photo we've gotten. Kraken is somewhere in the background, I'm sure. But
shout out to that's Tori that made that. The at's in the corner of Blue Rose Tori, because I thought it was Tori, and then I happened to glance at that and went, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I had to have, because I ran up as you guys won. You guys were popping off. I ran down for those that haven't been to Riptide. On the right side of this photo, there's a kind of a pathway that goes all the way back to the TO desk. I am sprinting as they win this and just popping off myself. Lost my voice the rest of the day for that one because it was already pretty weak as a TO at that point.
I have a voice coming into this one
the entire time. And
here you go.
Get that, and then you guys take the photo after I have to already walk away. So I'm probably in the background between David's head and Pork's head on the right, the two on the right side.
I didn't even know the photographer was there. All I know is that afterwards, I had people come up to me and they were like, good job. And, I had spoken with some people before and was like, I was previously asked, what was my favorite Splatoon moment? I think I just made it. And they were like, okay, I need to run that back. Say that one more time with the camera.
Oh, heck yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Like just everything among that in general as well was absolutely basically exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, it was storybook. It was pure storybook. I don't think you could have written that any better. And I even had Jeannie messaging me like, "What a Chad standing on the chair!" Like,
oh man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch this in for you, Vape, as your request. Oh, it's not working! Yeah. Hold on, let me refresh it. I don't know if I can get this to work. I might have to do it a different way. Hold on, let me refresh it.
Oh shoot, I don't think wait, is this from Kyone's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I forgot to watch this. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. This was recorded from Keaton's phone, so...
Oh my god.
I'll pop the link in chat after this. Because I haven't seen it either. You can see me in this me! And then you see I have to go. I want to show more Luigi. Or more love, and there's Luigi.
And then we turn to Nito and Cactus, and we're like, yeah, take that #1 eater.
Oh my god.
And then the whole crowd as well.
Yeah, the crowd. Love you guys. For those who remember this moment, have been like, and we remember this set, like,
they can't hear that.
Appreciate you all.
Sorry, guys.
So
I'm sorry, everybody. I'll put the link in chat. Yeah.
It's amazing. Shout out to Kyo for vlogging his entire journey through Riptide this year. So.
Absolutely. No. It was a lot of fun. I know we are kind of at time though, but yeah, I don't know. It was definitely my. It's easy to say that every time, but like it's probably my favorite LAN experience.
And there's a couple of good ones, like recent times, at least within the year.
Yeah, oh for sure. Like TZS, we freaking showed up to LANs this year. Like I don't think anybody can say that they had a better year at LANs than TZS.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, and Pepe's a big part of that.
Genesis X winner as well, by the way. Not with us, but it would have been nice to be with us, but you couldn't make that one.
TZS in spirit.
Yeah, you guys rocked it in LANs. I wish I could have joined you guys in some of them.
Okay, and 2025, Kraken is gonna play a LAN.
That is the goal.
Find out.
We'll find out.
I think that's definitely a good topic to kind of note. I think just talking LANs as a whole, maybe it would be good because I'm gonna be real. I really enjoy doing this, And I you know, we kind of, I'm not gonna lie, me and Vapor had a mini podcast like an hour before this talking about things. Not gonna lie, we sat here and testing things for like an hour, and no joke, straight up, like, it could have just been a podcast episode. And we have a lot of those. And I think I enjoy doing this. I'm up to do more of these.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I had fun. So I'm excited. There's a lot of, like, especially when the team is around for 3 years, like we've been, and we've developed a history and whatnot. There's a lot that I think we all can talk about, stories to share, advice, and experiences, especially because all of us wear multiple hats in this community. Like, I think that there's just so much that we can dive into.
Kagan's like, get me out of here.
So many hats.
Well, I mean, when all of us have played this game for so long, when all of us are organizers in one way or another,
we've all wore every single hat in this community.
God.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty fair to maybe a small specific role within whatever, but we've all commentated. We've all done a bunch of things for production. We've all done players, obviously. So the four of us here have literally done everything, and that's not even talking about the other 3 members of TZS, which have all contributed to different parts of that as well, to different hats. You know, literally, you know, maybe a little less so for those 3 in terms of like production and TOing, but they still have.
Oh yeah.
Like, every single one of us has just been everywhere. And yeah.
Oh boy. Well, if you all enjoyed this though, I mean, let us know. Let us know what types of things you would like us to talk about. Let us know what food you want Mewtwo to pick up from Walmart next. And we'll try. We don't know what this series will become. You know, obviously we said we're just trying to get this started. So maybe sometime again in December we'll meet up again to chat. But yeah, I guess let's try to wrap this up. What is our thing? That's the thing we also need to figure out, guys. Is like what is the TZS podcast thing? Because everyone always has the signature either intro or ending or something. We got to workshop this.
Yeah. And I should note for reference for anybody, if you miss this, I'm gonna, because we're about to stream or scrim, and it's gonna be a part of the same stream unless my thing breaks on transition, which there's a chance of that. I'm gonna go ahead and repost this as its own VOD post this, and then it'll be in its own playlist. So if we do more in the future, which I think it leans that we are at least gonna try, it'll be in a playlist on my channel on YouTube.
All right,
it's the same as the ad over there, and I'm gonna change some graphics next time. It'll be some better graphical things. Not a lot, but a little bit at least a little bit.
Like, you surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. With the
I posted pictures of this guy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No, well, how does that work? How does that work all day? Like, literally, you know what? I'm
love
busy.
You. I'm just trolling you.
How does that work all day? I couldn't see.
I sent the pictures in spring. It's like the same as the pictures in spring.
It's actually like I was like way back, so you might just not remember. That's okay.
Yeah. There was
anyways
changes.
Let's wrap this up. There's a script to get to.
Yes,
we apologize, OBT.
Hopefully stream doesn't break. If not, I'll be right here. If not, check it. It'll be up in a second.
We'll be back.
All right. TZS out.